This is Progenitor, book 2 in the Blades of Janus. And I have to say, even still, even though I've written many things after it, this might be the best book I've ever written. It definitely was the hardest. So we're going to read a scene that will kind of illustrate that, where it is one body walking through the park, and I think there's like, what, 7, 6? There's a whole bunch of different consciousnesses talking to each other in one head. So I did my best to make it super clear for you guys, but it took a long time to get that done. Anyway, this is a super spooky and kind of action-y sequence where Dexter, the body that is walking through the park doing patrol, is he has encountered something on the patrol and has to take care of it. And spoiler alert, if you haven't read book 1, you're gonna want to read it. Go read it now. Pause. Okay, you done? You read it? You did. It was a good one. It was good, huh? Okay, here we go. Brock calmed himself, taking in the surroundings along with all the other consciousnesses linked to the Dexter body in that moment. Wind whispering through the trees, water trickling under the bridge, something moving in the earth, something big. Spindly arms burst through the topsoil and reached for Dexter's legs. Dexter leapt into the air, swinging his swords as he reached the apex of his flip, upside down. The blades flashed, reflecting the light from the lampposts along the path. A thick fluid sprayed the ground as he severed the creature's arms at their elbows. Even through the ground, Brock could hear the screeches of the dwellers Dexter had maimed. The loss of a couple of limbs probably wouldn't stop them. Sure enough, the ground rippled as the things pushed their way closer to the surface. Dexter spun his swords in graceful arcs as he finished his flip, the tips of both weapons pointing at the ground. He stabbed them through the earth as he landed in a crouch. A normal person could never have pulled off that maneuver. Dexter was far from normal. Brock could feel Dexter drawing on all of their bodies, using the mental power of 5 brains, the muscle memory of 5 bodies. These dwellers didn't stand a chance. More screeches came from below. Thick brown-green blood welled up around the blades as Dexter twisted their hilts. He pulled the swords with him as he stood, flicking them to the side to cut off more arms reaching for him from the ground. Brock was about to pull back and leave Dexter to his gruesome work when a different type of scream hit his ears. Human. Dexter, Brock thought. We know. Dexter ran toward the sound, hacking at the limbs as he did, leaping over forms emerging from the earth. Time slowed again, letting Brock get a good look at the creatures. Filthy clothes hung from their impossibly thin bodies. Their skin was coated in fine silver fur. As far as dwellers went, that wasn't so bad. It was their faces that Brock was sure he'd been having nightmares about. The gray skin that mostly covered their eyes was wrinkled and puckered. It looked like someone had taken 2 clods of mud and rubbed them into their otherwise empty eye sockets. Their noses were tiny slits, and oversized teeth that were jagged triangles filled their mouths shark-like. 2 tiny flaps of skin stuck out from the sides of their heads, roughly where their ears should be. Trolls, Bradley projected. Brock almost wished he had kept his distance from Dexter's consciousness so these things would be out of focus. He'd studied the entry on trolls in Vaughn's Dwellers database and knew they were ugly. Seeing them up close and clearly was much worse than the digitized files. No wonder Vaughn called them mole people. Tessa warned us that other dwellers tend to move into redcap tunnels after an infestation has been cleared, DP thought. Trolls were at the top of her watch list. Great, Brock projected. Dexter leapt over a troll and hit the ground in a roll. Brock felt him calculating his inertia against his heightened strength and speed. At the end of the roll, Dexter launched off the ground, practically flying at the mass of trolls surrounding their prey. They had her on the ground and were hunched over her, punching and kicking. The woman's screams had subsided to low sobs. Be careful you don't hurt her, Brock thought to Dexter. We have done this before, Dexter replied. Brock couldn't keep himself from worrying. The writhing mass of dwellers would make it difficult for Dexter to see where his swords were landing. A few feet from the group, Dexter skidded to a stop. He shouted, "Hey!" using his voice instead of his mind. The sound startled Brock. Dexter was one of the least chatty of the replicants. What was he doing? Brock pushed closer to Dexter's awareness, feeling the strength in Dexter's limbs as he held both swords ready at his sides. Half a dozen of the trolls turned, sniffing the air. They stepped away from the woman, collapsing their torsos into short, squat forms rather than the long, thin creatures they'd originally appeared to be. Dexter launched himself at them. He decapitated 4 before the others even realized what was going on. The other 2 who had noticed Dexter sprang at him, their bodies distending like macabre accordions. Dexter shifted his weight to the right, then stabbed up with the sword in his left hand, skewering the troll on that side. He pivoted, pulling the weapon free and using his other blade to slash the throat of the last attacking troll in a move that was as graceful as it was brutal. The dead dweller started to glow with a soft blue light. It consumed them, like flame devouring paper. Even without eyes, the other trolls seemed to register it. They all turned, leaving the woman they'd been beating curled in a ball on the ground. As one, they charged at Dexter. As you can probably guess, it doesn't go well for the trolls. Dexter is not to be messed with. He's not to be underestimated. And actually, his book is the next one in Blades, and this is making me so tempted to write it, but I have other things to write first. So, you must read Progenitor. You must read the Blades. These are urban fantasy, very intense urban fantasy romances. Probably unlike anything you've ever read before. Definitely the series I am most proud of. So make an indie author happy and buy the Blades today. Oh, and leave reviews, please. I want to hear from you, please. I love talking to readers and I love hearing what you think of the books. So take care. Bye.